I just watched the Stranger Things 5 Volume 2 trailer at 0.25x speed. It's terrifying, and it answers absolutely nothing, while simultaneously giving us a million new things to panic about. So, let's just get into it. First off, if you remember where we left off, things were looking pretty apocalyptic. Hawkins is gone. It is basically a war zone. We have the military locking everything down, hunting for 11, and trying to contain the rifts, but it is clearly not working. The secrecy is dead. Gone are the days when this was a small-town mystery where a few kids on bikes could hide the truth from the sheriff. We saw Demogorgons literally crossing over and attacking civilians in broad daylight in Volume 1, which was terrifying enough. But seeing this trailer feels like a siege. It's open warfare. It feels like Red Dawn, but instead of paratroopers, we have monsters from another dimension. The scale has just exploded. And amidst all this chaos, Vecna is still out there, prowling around and collecting victims. He's not hiding in the shadows anymore, he is the shadow over the entire town. One detail that really haunts me upon rewatching Volume 1 is that despite the military throwing everything they had at the monsters, Vecna survived the assault without a single scratch. He just walked away. That image of him walking unscathed through the fire is burned into my brain. My working theory is that conventional weapons don't just fail against him. They might actually be feeding him energy, like he absorbs the kinetic impact. If that's true, then the military is just making him stronger every time they pull a trigger, which is a horrifying thought. The fact that he grabbed Holly Wheeler, Mike and Nancy's little sister, is the darkest turn this show has taken. We always knew no one was safe, but taking the youngest sibling? That's low, even for an eldritch lich monster. And then finding out that Holly somehow stumbled upon Max in Vecna's mindscape, that changes everything we thought we knew about how his mind works. So, going into this trailer, the stakes were already through the roof. The trailer starts right where my anxiety left off. We see Hawkins at night, and it is just destroyed. There are fires burning everywhere, abandoned military Humvees, and debris scattered all over the streets. It's a total nightmare. And then we see Will Byers. He's on the ground, surrounded by wreckage, and he says they never stood a chance. But then the scene cuts to Joyce, and we see her comforting Will, holding him while he's emotional, and she's telling everyone that the fight isn't over. She says, "Not by a long shot." It gave me chills. Even with everyone bloodied and the town in ruins, Joyce refuses to give up. We get the shot of Mike Wheeler looking up at the sky, and there is this terrifying red upside-down light crackling across his face. But then we also get a scene with Steve and Dustin. We see them walking through what looks like the Hawkins lab, but it's clearly in the upside down because those disgusting vines are covering every surface. Dustin says, "This whole time, everything we have ever assumed about the upside down has been dead wrong." We have spent 5 seasons theorizing about this dimension. We thought we understood the rules. We thought we knew it was a snapshot of Hawkins from the day Will went missing. And now Dustin, the smartest guy in the room, is telling us we know nothing. It makes you question everything. If it's not a parallel dimension, what is it? Is it a future timeline? Is it a physical manifestation of Henry Creel's broken psyche that has just overwritten reality? The possibilities are endless. And then Steve and Dustin look up, and there is this massive swirling ball of red and black energy in the sky. It looks like a storm, but alive. I paused it right there, and it looks so different from the gates we've seen before. It reminded me so much of the It from A Wrinkle in Time. It makes me think that the Mind Flayer we've seen before was just a puppet, and this swirling chaos is the real deal. Then the music drops, and they use Diana Ross's Upside Down. I actually laughed out loud because it's such a cheeky, ironic choice for a show that is literally about an upside-down dimension, but it works so well. It adds this weird, almost funky energy. We see Eleven putting on headphones and tying on a dark blue bandana, which has become her signature look lately. She is tuning into the void, but she's not doing it alone this time. She asks Kaylee to help her. Yes, 8 is back. Linnea Berthelsen returns. Elle asks her to help me find him, kill him. And when we talk about Vecna, we are also talking about Henry Creel in 1. But here is a massive detail I almost missed until I slowed it down. 11 has shaved her head again. I repeat, the buzz cut is back. That cannot be good. It usually implies she is being experimented on again, or maybe she did it herself to heighten her powers. Whatever the reason, she looks ready for war. She seems desperate to find Vecna, and she wants Kaylee to help kill him, because as the vibe suggests, 2 is better than 1. But it looks like Mike really doesn't like whatever plan 11 has come up with. There are quick shots of them clutching onto one another, looking desperate and scared. Speaking of the villain, Jamie Campbell Bower is doing the Lord's work in this trailer. He is so menacing. We get these rapid-fire flashes of him in all his different forms. We see him as the human Henry Creel, looking creepy and intense. Then we see him as the orderly, right after Elle banished him, looking gaunt and like the life was sucked out of him. And then we see the full monster Vecna. The trailer cuts between these forms rapidly, almost like he's glitching. It's really unsettling. It suggests that he is having some kind of identity crisis. Maybe holding the upside down together is fracturing his mind. There's this one shot where he is walking down a flight of stairs and he transforms into Vecna in real time. He is still tormenting Holly Wheeler, and it feels like his control is slipping, which makes him even more dangerous. An unstable villain is a chaotic villain. This glitching might actually be Elle's doing. If she is poking around in his memories, she might be forcing him to relive his humanity, which weakens his monster form. We also get a check-in on the Max and Holly situation. They are trapped in that weird mind space together. It looks like they are on the move. We definitely see them traveling through a floating door to leave the cave they were hiding in, heading to a destination that is currently unknown. One of the episode titles revealed was Escape from Camazotz, and this has to be it. I did a quick Google search on Camazotz, and it's a bat god from Mayan mythology associated with death and the underworld. So Max isn't just in a coma, she is basically navigating the underworld of Vecna's mind. Ross Duffer actually confirmed that Escape from Camazotz is episode 6, and it's directed by Sean Levy, so prepare for major tears. The visuals here are surreal. There's a shot of Max walking into a bedroom window, and there's also a creepy wooden basement with a ladder leading to who knows where. Then there is a freestanding door in the middle of a grassy field. It's very Monsters, Inc. meets Nightmare on Elm Street. Since Max is physically in a hospital bed in the real world, this whole psychic escape attempt is going to be a total mind-bender. I have a horrible feeling that for Max to escape, she has to leave a part of herself behind, meaning she might wake up with no memories of Lucas or her friends. The trailer isn't telling, but we see many shots of Max and Holly running for their lives, so it is definitely not going to be a smooth exit. Then the trailer goes full action movie. We see the whole squad assembled. It's Lucas, Mike, Murray, Nancy, Jonathan, Dustin, Steve, Robin, and Erica. And Nancy Wheeler is undeniably the MVP. She pops out of this tank truck with a rifle and she is just picking off soldiers. She has gone full Sarah Connor. I love her evolution from the girl concerned about high school drama to this warrior. Murray is driving and the windshield is getting covered with bullets. It looks like they are being chased by the military, and I spotted Linda Hamilton's character in the mix there. But the coolest tactical detail I noticed involved Robin. There is a close-up of her hands cranking this massive industrial dial labeled Power Stat. Immediately after, we see sparks flying and electricity bursting onto a Demogorgon that is tied up. This is a huge clue. It implies that they have figured out a way to weaponize electricity against the hive mind. We've seen fire hurt them. We've seen cold affect the Mind Flayer. If they can use a massive electrical surge, maybe they can sever the connection between the monsters and Vecna. It looks like they are trying to short-circuit the hive mind. It's such a smart, science-y way for the group to fight back without having superpowers. We also get a bit of dialogue during this truck chase. Robin screams, "I kinda thought that was supposed to be the easy part." And Lucas, looking completely done with everything, just replies, "It was." If getting shot at by the military while driving a reinforced truck through a dimension rift is the easy part, I'm terrified to know what the hard part is. However, Vecna isn't exactly shaking in his boots. We hear his voiceover saying, "It is time for a new world." That line gave me goosebumps. He's not satisfied with just destroying Hawkins anymore. He wants to expand. He wants to remake reality entirely. And then the trailer shows us Steve and Dustin together again. We saw a hug in the teaser, but this is different. This is dire. They repeat that phrase from season 3, "You die, I die." Steve says it to Dustin and Dustin says it back. I had to pause and just breathe for a second because on the surface, it's a sweet callback to their partnership. But in this context, It feels like a death sentence. It feels like a goodbye. In Season 3, it was banter. Here, with the world ending, it feels like a foreshadowing of a sacrifice. We know Steve has had this arc of becoming the protector, the babysitter, the guy who puts everyone else first. I am legitimately terrified that Steve is going to die saving Dustin. If that happens, I don't think I will recover. The trailer also puts a massive spotlight on Will Byers. The Duffer Brothers have been saying for ages that this season would circle back to Will, that he is the key, and the trailer proves it. We are finally getting Sorcerer Will. We only see a glimpse, but it looks like he is tapping into the hive mind to fight Vecna on his own turf. It makes perfect sense. Will was the first victim. He was the one who survived the Upside Down for a week. He has always had that connection, that prickle on the back of his neck. Now, instead of being a victim of it, he's using it as a weapon. It looks like we are heading toward a psychic showdown between Will and Vecna, which is exactly what the show needs. I think Will is going to realize that he created the Upside Down's current form back in Season 1, and that's why he can control it. The atmosphere of the whole trailer is just oppressive. The military are hunting Eleven, forcing her to hide again, which is frustrating because she just wants to save the world. It's almost the anniversary of the day Will went missing. Hey Gang is trying to find Vecna, but he's ghosted them. He's hiding, planning, waiting. It's a race against time. I also noticed some quick shots of the hospital. We know Max, Lucas, and Vicky are there. There's a shot that looks like a demodog attacking the hospital, and I am so worried about Lucas. He has been sitting by Max's bedside this whole time. If a monster attacks, he is going to be trapped. He's going to have to choose between defending Max's defenseless body or running to help his friends. That is a heartbreaking setup. I also want to touch on the episode information that was released alongside this because it adds so much context to the visuals. We know the titles are Shock Jock, Escape from Camazotz, and The Bridge. Ross Duffer mentioned that Frank Darabont directed Shock Jock and that it's dark and scary. Seeing Darabont's name attached is huge. He's a master of horror. Then Sean Levy is back for the big emotional episodes. The Bridge is the title that scares me the most. Duffer said it's the most emotional chapter aside from the finale. A bridge usually implies crossing over. Does it mean a bridge between dimensions? Or does it mean a bridge between life and death? It sounds like a character death to me. It sounds like someone is going to have to make a one-way trip to save the others. The clock is ticking. The world is burning, and Hawkins is about to fall. Christmas cannot come soon enough.